Hey guys, Morley of Team EpicSauce here with a sort of a deck profile. I'm not actually going to do the whole deck right now since I don't have time. But I'll be showing the moves of the deck and, some cool moves you can do and, yeah, basic moves, and I'll probably review the deck during the weekend for you guys. Alright. First off, I'm running like Fish OTK this format. I absolutely love the deck. I like being able to, sync rolling so many times, and it has 3 OTKs, which is really nice. Alright, the deck is tier 1 right now, maybe tier 1.5, I hate using that 0.5, but 6 Samurais and Gravekeepers, still can kill this deck pretty easily with Xian spams and Royal Tribute. But, the deck is it has a lot of potential. Even though none topped YCS Anaheim, I'm sure that with more people repping the deck, I'm sure it will do great. Alright, to bring out Coelacanth is really simple actually. The deck uses the Frog engine. Ronin Totem, and Swap Frog. Alright. And I use Foolish since I don't own Pot of Duality. I'm a hobo. Alright. Alright, so many moves you can do with just Swap Frog and another Frog. Or Ronin Totem. You could like pitch your dude and then like special Swap Frog. That way you could like send this from your deck to the graveyard and you could just remove it, summon, and sack both. Of course you're gonna want to Trunade before you do any of this because you don't want to get crazy minuses. Yeah, and then there's Fishborg, Treeborn, who counts as one tribute almost all the time. And that's one way. And then I run Foolish, so I could do the skillful Monster Reborn Foolish. Alright, the deck I guess the main win condition would be Coelacanth, but you don't actually bring him out every game, and sometimes you could grind out victories with LADD, who is pretty awesome. Alright, also if you have a Fishborg in your graveyard and you tribute summon for Coelacanth, you could like pitch a card and special summon it. That way you could sack these two and bring out your Coelacanth. Even if your opponent Effect Veilers you could negate your opponent's Effect Veiler with his effect by tributing another fish monster you control. So, just kill your Fishborg and he still lives. I've actually done that a lot at the YCS Anaheim, and it caught a lot of people off guard, surprisingly. And they wasted their Effect Veilers when they could have used it when I was actually doing the OTK. Yeah, so if you play against Fish, or you're using Fish, remember, his second effect is awesome. Alright, so now we pitch a card. Pitch. Then we summon 2 Oystermeisters and 2 Fishborgs. That's where the deck can do its 5 or 3 or 6 or whatever. TCG it's 3 OTKs. Alright, so here's an OTK. You're gonna synchro these 2 into Army Arm, right? Oh yeah, remember, if you mess up with the OTKs, then you could get screwed. So when you're running the deck, make sure you're sure with every play you're gonna make. Otherwise you could like screw yourself up a lot. Alright, since he was sent to the graveyard, except by battle, you get a token. And it's awesome because it's a level 1 fish, water. Yeah, level 1 token, whatever. So you synchro your Oyster token, Fishborg, and you get a formula. That nets you a card. I'm just going to draw a card. And then now you could pitch the card you just drew to get your Fishborg. Well, you could do that later, actually. You're going to synchro these 2 into Gishinlodon. This guy's awesome. When a level 3 or lower monster, face up, is sent to the graveyard this turn, his attack becomes 3,000. That's actually pretty important for the OTK. Now that you synced your Oystermeister, you get another Oyster token. Sync the token and Fishborg to get another formula. Draw a card. And now you sync these 2. Sorry. And you get Brionac. Alright, so this totals to 8,100 attack, right? And even if your opponent has monsters, you could discard cards in your hand to bounce your opponent's monsters with Brionac. And And since formula nets you a card, that's actually pretty nice because it helps replenish card advantage, hand advantage, and lets you successfully do the OTK. I would use this OTK if your opponent doesn't run like Fader or other bullcrap hand activate from hand effects. And if your opponent didn't waste their effect Veiler on your Coelacanth, then you could start bouncing stuff or have him at 3k and attacking for 81. So that's one of the OTKs, and you'll kind of do that one often, kind of not do it often. You'll do it sometime. All right, OTK number 2. Here's the simple one. I'm sure you guys know this one and are tired of this one. You get Army Arm, get a token, then you could like sync these two or whatever, get Colossal Fighter, and Colossal Army Arm. If your opponent has Veiler and didn't waste on Coelacanth and uses it on a Army Arm, or your opponent's monster is too low, remember that you could pitch for Fishborg and summon him. Then you could synchro these two into another Army Arm, which is like total BS. It's annoying. Even players that do the OTK don't really like it. It's kind of boring, but it works. And I'm sure you guys know what it does. You equip it on your opponent's monsters, and they gain 1000 attack, and they take effect damage when the monster they kill equal to their attack, and he has that much attack. So they're gonna take that twice for every time you ram. Important things to know about this OTK is make sure you have enough life points. Someone killed themselves at a YCS and a judge was watching, so that really sucked. They didn't have enough life points to do Colossal OTK. You're probably gonna need around 2,000 life points, or maybe like 2,000. 2,000 is a good number. Okay, I'll stop saying 2,000. Alright, so yeah, that's Colossal Fighter Army Arm. Since the deck could special summon 2 Army Arms in one turn and a Colossal, even, they stop one, still, you should be able to pull it off. Alright, OTK number 3, Coelacanth, these two, and these two. Alright, this is one that's like really kind of unnecessary. Some people don't use this one often, some don't use it at all, some don't run it. But I personally run it because Gores is popular in my area, and this OTK can stop Gores. Oh yeah, you're gonna go for Colossal Army Arm the most. That's the most easy way to win with Fish OTK. The second one is probably the Gishonoda one, and then I would go for this one last. You're not gonna go into this one a lot. Alright, let me think. Synchro these two. This guy. I'm gonna need to think. Sometimes I mess this one up, embarrassingly. Synchro these two, I think. Get a token. Pitch one. You get Fishborg. Now you synchro this and this. And you get a formula. Now you draw a card. Draw a card. And then pitch for... I dropped it. Alright, whatever. Pitch for, another formula, not formula, Fishborg. Sync these two, and get Army Arm. You get a token. Okay, I guess RCS. Then you equip the Army Arm with the other Army Arm. Then you get your Fishborg. Oh, let me pick it up. Get Fishborg. Ow. And then you sync your Fishborg and your Oyster token for another synchro, and then you draw a card. Alright, now you synchro your formula and Red Dragon to some Red Nova. Alright. So, if you guys don't know what it does, you can read it here. Yeah, it gets like 500 for each tuner, which is actually pretty awesome. It gains 2,000 since you have this dude, these two guys. That's 2k. So he'll be at 5,500. And Army Arm on Army Arm will be 28. And it will have the burn effect. Remember that, the burn effect. So you'll attack directly for 55. And even if they drop Gores, you have Army Arm on Army Arm. Even if they put it in defense position, you could attack their Gores with Army Arm, and they'll take the burn damage, which is enough to finish them off. You don't go for this one a lot, pretty much, but like if you fight something like Light Sworn, or like any deck you have suspicion that might run Gores, or you saw Gores previously, or even I had some people side into Gores when they're playing Fish, and I would do this OTK, and you know, lesson learned. So yeah, that's the third one. I wouldn't go into this one a lot, especially like Frog Monarchs. Frog Monarchs, I would go for Colossal Army Arm, because, you know, they have Fader, and after that, they could easily, you know, Caius this dude, or Ryza, or whatever, screw you over, and it's really friggin' annoying. That's why I don't, you know, Frog Monarchs are weird matchup. It's kind of like a mirror match, not really, but you're, you know. I think I forgot I don't know if I've mentioned this, but when you're doing Colossal Army Arm, remember that you run 3 friggin' Econ. So, like, even if your opponent has a defense position monster, you could, like, Econ it and switch it to attack. And that's when you could rape them with Army Arm OTK. Yeah, some people don't do... Some people, like, put their monsters in defense, like, hoping I would forget, or, like, hoping, you know, they only think that this changes them from attack from defense. You know, someone actually said that at YCS. And, yeah, that's the 3 OTKs of, you know, Fish OTK. It's a fun deck. I like it. And, it's kind of cheap without the pots. The most expensive stuff is probably 2 Armory Arm, which are like 18, 20 each, and 3 Formula, which are like 10 each. I got them for. And, you know, you should already have staples like Brionac, Colossal, Stardust. Oh, right, speaking of Stardust. This one isn't exactly as good, or it's, you know, it's not an OTK, but you could, you know, you could easily summon this guy. I like leaving him out sometimes. Sometimes, like, when I know I can't get the OTK off, I like leaving these 2 out. That way I could synchro them into Shooting Star, and, you know, Shooting Star is awesome. And the fact that you could do this on your opponent's turn to stop him from being killed by stuff like Caius and stuff, is really nice. So thanks, guys, for watching my video. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and stuff. And, yeah, this is Morley of Team EpicSauce. I hope you enjoyed the video, and there's more to come. Thanks, guys.